Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had 2 directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Looking at the biotech sector, XBI, IBB, CLVS, AGN, and VRX. I know some of these names are pharmaceuticals, but if you look at the daily chart of XBI compared to XPH, which is the pharmaceutical sector spider, they trade very correlated to each other as well. There's not very many instances where they're going in opposite directions, and if you look at the price action from when Trump gave that positive statement back on January 31st to the sector, they have pretty much been doing the same thing. So I view them all as one big happy family. If you're trading solely pharmaceuticals, then yeah, it would make more sense to be just looking at XPH and disregarding XBI, but we're looking at pharmaceuticals and biotechs, and they are definitely linked together, and they are seeing some strong correlation. So starting with XBI, we've seen nothing but higher lows and higher highs, a big time breakout here. We got our signal, which I'll show you on the weekly time frame, of a bullish break of a tightening range, and we've seen really nice follow through since then. So every time we establish a higher low, it builds a base of support. We had a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick on Thursday, but obviously we did not confirm that on Friday as we closed very strong up at the high of the day. So we've got next resistance, 69.85, the highest price we have seen. We look at the weekly time frame. The bull break occurred. We had a lower high and higher low pattern getting very, very tight. As soon as we broke 65.95, that's the bull signal, and that happened 2 weeks ago. And let's say you got in at the worst possible price that week of 66.03. You're still up 5% in 2 weeks on that move, and if you're playing a 3 times leveraged ETF, then you're going to be up 15% in 2 weeks. So very clearly some awesome follow through for that signal. The next resistance we're looking at is all the way up at 70 psychological, and then we're looking at 71.67. We are currently at the highest prices we've seen in over a year. So the biotech bulls are out, and we're watching the upper Bollinger Band resistance, which will be in the low $70 range on the weekly time frame to start next week. IBB has still been a laggard. It's pretty much been a laggard all year compared to the S&P 500 biotechs. This is the NASDAQ biotechs. Still very strong, similar reaction, and nice follow through, negating the bearish reversal candlestick. Resistance is 296.93. But you look at the weekly time frame, and we have not broken these levels. We're currently at the highest price we've seen in about 5 months, and we're not anywhere near where the S&P 500 biotech bulls are. They're looking up at resistance back from the end of December 2015, and that would be up at 343 if IBB were in the same playing field here. So we're down pretty much, I'd say 8% behind what we're seeing XBI doing. We do have the upper Bollinger Band weekly resistance here as well. The level to break above is 301.61 in order to get on pace with what the XBI bulls are doing. And we'll see if that upper Bollinger Band rejects the bulls this next week. CLVS, big time bull recovery here on Friday, and this is exactly when the bulls need it. So we have our equilibrium pattern being reached here. We have our high, our low of consolidation, lower high, higher low, and we're still in this pattern. We have to get a break of 66.53 to get a bullish break of this pattern. Certainly the momentum is favoring the bulls, and you can see that nice bull volume spike and maintaining this uptrend of higher lows, 58.61 and now 60.81, and the bulls need to see a break of 66.53 to be looking at the highest price we've seen recently of 67.16. The weekly time frame shows healthy consolidation, very minimal at this point. After a big time breakout over the last few months, we're filling the gap, which is why there's very little resistance at these levels. And if we do see a break of 67.16, we're looking up at 70 psychological. So the bulls are in full control still. They're maintaining nice support. If we get a break of 58.61, that would be a big time red flag for the short-term bulls, but we're nowhere near that occurring with that strong close Friday. AGN has also been a big time bull. We got our signal on AGN. We started watching it back here January 31st, closing above the 100-day moving average resistance. And it's really easy when you have a resistance level that keeps rejecting the price time and time again, and the bulls finally get over that level and turn it into support. That acts as a clear signal for the bulls, and the follow through that we saw after that was pretty darn strong. So let's say you got in at 220. We are now currently up at 247, so a nice 10% move in just a couple of weeks on that big time bull breakout. Support now on this consolidation, the low is 244.65. Bulls ideally want to hold that level. We're seeing a little bit of a bull flag of consolidation. It's normal and healthy at this point. And we look at the weekly time frame. We're struggling with the upper Bollinger Band resistance here. So the biotechs, seeing some individual names and the sectors themselves struggling with weekly upper Bollinger Band resistances. We have to update that upper Bollinger Band. It's going to be in the low 250s this coming week. And the next previous price resistance level is up at 254.90 for the bulls to deal with. So we had this nice consolidation on the weekly time frame, holding the middle Bollinger Band, and a big time breakout for continuation. VRX, we saw a 10% run up into FDA news, and then we saw a gap up open and a sell the news event. So clearly, people in the know heading into that news release and then locking in their profit once it came. We are still in a lower high pattern. We did not break 17.55. We formed a lower high at 17.14, and the bulls have to be very pleased with how we consolidated on Friday. It was a little bit scary due to the size of the volume, big bear volume, a loss of the upper Bollinger Band on the first test. More often than not, the bulls hold that upper Bollinger Band on the first test, but fell right through it. And the bulls bought the dip on Friday. The low is 15.82. That's now a new important support level. And the bulls are looking to see some follow through to the upside early next week. We're looking at 16.18 as the next level after that. And a nice green day will show that our temporary low of consolidation is in. So I'm still definitely interested in VRX, and personally I locked in profit on that gap up open day. And we're looking at the weekly time frame, that middle Bollinger Band resistance of 16.89. We did reject from that level, and that's going to be down in the mid to lower $16 range this coming week. The bulls have to turn this weekly middle Bollinger Band into support, and we have to break 17.55 to start to change the lower high pattern. We are looking for a trend change, but it has not occurred yet. We've gotten our initial signals. Now we need the follow through. A very bullish week with a close over 17.55 would go a long way in giving confidence to the bulls. So definitely keeping VRX on watch. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in this name in the coming month, but we have to get over that weekly middle Bollinger Band first. So I appreciate you watching. We'll keep checking in on the biotech sector. There's been a lot of strength and opportunity for trading here. I hope you have a great long weekend, and we'll see you soon.